it's Davina here. Today I am going to be talking about how that I know God told me to move. So if you feel like God's leading you to somewhere like a new city, a new town, a new state, maybe even a new country, this video is for you. So I just had this urgent feeling in my spirit for a couple of months that God wanted me to leave, and on top of that, I just wasn't really happy where I was anymore there. Like, I was comfortable basically in a way, but you know, I felt like I was getting too comfortable at that. And then I also just wasn't feeling it anymore. Like I just wasn't happy where I was at. So let me give you a background story. 3 years ago, I lived in New Jersey, and I am from New Jersey. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, born and raised. I lived prior to me leaving, the only other state I lived in was Pennsylvania. So I always lived in New Jersey, and I lived in Pennsylvania before when I was a kid. And I moved in with my mom in Pennsylvania in my late teens, early 20s. So yeah, I had basically always lived in New Jersey for the most part. But it was a period of time when I was basically in disobedience, as far as, you know, the Bible says. I was in that type of disobedience. I wasn't being, like, in my eyes, I wasn't being super rebellious or being disrespectful to people or anything like that, but I just wasn't doing what God wanted me to do. I still had a love for God in my heart. I still was going to church and, you know, praying, but I wasn't doing what God called me to do. And, you know, I just wasn't living the life. I was in fornication basically, and just not doing what the best I could have done. Now, I was doing pretty good. As being a hairstylist, I'm a professional licensed hairstylist. I mainly do braids, but yeah, I was doing pretty. My clientele and my money had basically started to pick up I'm just giving you guys a backstory. But before all of this went down, I had my clientele. What year was this? The end of 2015. Towards the end of 2015. 2015 was a really good year for me. I was very, very happy. Like, my clientele had picked up. So I was 24 in 2015. I turned 25 the end of 2015. My birthday is December 21st. So the end of each year I turn a new age. So I was basically 24 in 2015. Yeah, I was very happy. My clientele had picked up. My clientele was doing pretty good. Like, I had consistent clients and a decent amount, not a whole lot. I had a good amount to where I was satisfied. I had made decent good amount of money where I was able to pay my tithes. Even though you're supposed to pay all the time, no matter what you could get $1. But I was happy to pay my tithes every week. I paid offering every week. I was happy to help people out in my family if they needed help here and there. Even though sometimes I did it more often than I wanted to, but yeah, give people gifts. You know, I was just like very happy. I was in a relationship, and then towards the end of 2015, we had got engaged. Right the day before my 25th birthday, we got engaged. So I was happy with that relationship. I thought that was the one, because we got along pretty good. I got along with his family pretty good. I loved his daughter, loved his mother, his family. Like, we got along pretty good, and I felt like I seen some signs that he was the one. So just me looking at that and not really hearing God's voice, and I prayed about it too, but I looked at basically coincidences rather than signs, and God's true voice. I thought I was hearing God's voice, but it wasn't. And I'm prophetic, but I just thought that was it. Basically, from the different signs that I've seen, I can remember all the ones, and I'm not trying to go through all of that because I don't want this video to be too long, and I don't want to get sidetracked from the whole purpose of this video. But I just wanted to give you guys a back story. But yeah, I was really having a good time. Our relationship was going pretty good as far as I knew. And yeah. But then we had got engaged or whatever. I was still making good money. Well, good money to me at the time. I know I could definitely have made more money than that, but it was good enough for me. And yeah, I was looking for an apartment because I was staying with family members at the time. I was looking for an apartment, so I was looking for apartments, but I didn't have proof of income and stuff like that. So yeah, long story short, after we got engaged, things started to get more physical between me and him. Before we got engaged, we didn't really get too physical. We did end up making a mistake before that, but then once we got engaged, we did mess up or whatever, and we did continue to stay in that. And I guess towards a couple of months after that, I did want to become celibate, like wanted us to wait. And this was what we had said before. While we was in a relationship, we had decided that before we got engaged, that we were going to be abstinent and be celibate and not engage in sex. But we ended up messing up, and actually prior to me even getting a relationship with him, I dedicated myself back to I was already still dedicating my life to God, but my body back to God. And I told God that I wanted to wait till I got married. The person that really inspired me to become abstinent and celibate was Heather Lindsay. I found her from Ashley D Beauty's channel. I think I was already subscribed to her. As far as I know, her name is Ashley Devada now. I don't really watch her content anymore, but she was talking about purity and right for the right one and stuff like that, and she talked about Heather Lindsay in her video. So I knew a little bit about this, and I seen a reality show like years prior to that about people waiting till they get married, but people that was normally doing that was pretty awkward. But I still thought that was really cute those years ago when I was like a teenager. And I knew my aunt, one of my aunts, she waited till she got married. She was a virgin till she got married. And my pastor, she basically waited for her husband. So those are the few people that I personally knew that waited. Everybody else that I knew did not wait, as far as I know. But yeah, so I decided to check out the video that she was talking about. I watched Heather Lindsay, fell in love with her content. You know, not idolizing her or anything, but I really loved her content. I loved her personality. I love her story. It really encouraged me to start to wait for my husband. So I had dedicated my life to God. I repented and asked God for forgiveness. I left that relationship that I had along with the guy that I was seeing, you know. It wasn't going anywhere. I left that alone. He did try to come back, and I had to let it go again. So I had gave myself back to God. I made a vow to become abstinent until I got married. I actually had the ring that was on her pinky promise. It's like I don't have the ring anymore. I still have the book though, and I had the t-shirt. I don't think I have the t-shirt anymore either, but I had weight on my Adam t-shirt. I had the ring, and I would put it on my ring finger, and I had the book. Dusty Crowns. I still have that book too. It's an awesome book. So I had dedicated myself back to God and said that I wasn't going to have sex basically. But then I had got into a relationship with the guy that I became engaged to. We knew each other for years, but we never dated. I knew that he liked me at one point in my life before he asked me out. I didn't know if he still liked me, but I guess he did maybe. So he asked me out, and I said yeah. We started going out and stuff like that, and everything was going pretty cool to me. So when he asked me to be his girlfriend, I said yes. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into all the story, but yeah, we ended up basically after our engagement and later on in our relationship, we ended up engaging into sexual things that we shouldn't have done. So God punished me for that. I got prophecy that things were basically going to go downhill for me, go bad for me. That was gonna, in 8 days from that day that I got prophesied to, that my life, things were going to get crucial in my life, and that God needs somebody that's going to serve him. So sure enough, I didn't necessarily receive it at that time. I was wondering like why and all types of stuff. I actually repented for that. Also, I actually asked the person that prophesied that to me too to forgive me, even though I wasn't disrespectful or anything, but just what I felt in my heart. I wasn't necessarily mad at him, but I know like I should have just, you know, listen to God through him, even though I didn't completely understand. I asked him for forgiveness as well. But yeah, I basically did get punished for that, and everything had went downhill. So I was still applying for apartments during that time because we were about to get married. We needed a place to stay, and I needed my own place until we got married. So I was looking for apartments still. Every time I would apply for an apartment that was like in my price range and that was decent and a decent neighborhood that I could see myself living in. Not that had to be perfect, but it wasn't too bad, because you know, if you're from Jersey, especially if you're from North, you know that you want to, every neighborhood isn't good. So I tried to get into a decent neighborhood. It may not have been middle class, or it was like in between, you know, the middle class and the super poor neighborhoods, just like decent where you could feel safe to go home basically, and it was decent inside. And I was able to make that rent. Definitely I was making the amounts that I need to make to, you know, have an apartment. So I would get turned down each and every time I would apply to different apartments, and I knew I could afford those apartments. And things were getting bad at the places that I was staying at. People were the second place that I stayed at, people were being disrespectful basically. I knew I had to hurry up and leave. I was getting less and less money, and my clientele was going down. Like people wasn't coming as frequently, so I was basically becoming broke, like broke, like being from the hood type of broke. Only having a few dollars in your pocket. Sometimes I was having no money, and I was after I had started staying with my mom in PA because she was living in Pennsylvania at the time, and I was going back and forth from New Jersey to her house so I could be able to go to work at the salon that I was working at. But it was becoming too much for me. So I ended up moving in with her in PA, and I just got a regular full-time 9-to-5 job that was paying not the best, but it was something. And I just started working there, and so I had to let my the salon that I was working at go. Like I wasn't working with the people at my salon. I had to let the owner know. I was nervous about doing that, but I did, and let my clients. I probably didn't reach out to all my clients because I wasn't in my right mind either, but I reached out to some clients that was like real consistent, and yeah, I just wasn't really doing hair anymore. So unless people were willing to come out to me, or if I was able to come out there here and there, so I did that. So basically my things in my life went downhill, like because of my disobedience. So that's how I moved 3 years ago. So I was living in New Jersey 3 years ago, and then once 2016 hit, after my brother passed away too, I forgot to add that, me and the fiance actually broke up a couple of months after I got that prophecy. So that was another thing too that went downhill. I know in my heart that we're not meant to be together, as far as I know. But yeah, I seen that we weren't meant to be together, and we broke up. He actually broke up with me. And a little bit after that, maybe a few weeks to a month, my brother passed away. My older brother, we were very close. That was like my favorite brother. We were very close when we were young. During that time, we had kind of like you know, our relationship had fell apart a little bit because of the different things that I went through. He knew me as being one type of young lady, and then me changing a little bit. So he was disappointed in some areas of my life. So we kind of our relationship had kind of slipped away, but we still had a relationship. And in my teens, we were really close. Teens and kids. He was very protective over me. He was like my protector. Sometimes he would get on my nerves and try to be too overprotective, but for the most part, he was always there by my side, protecting me, and you know, making sure nobody. Yeah, he was that type of big brother. I really loved my brother, but yeah, he ended up passing away. So I had the finances go down. I had nowhere to go, no apartment to go to, no relationship. The relationship was broken up. We weren't engaged, we weren't getting married anymore. Thank God I didn't purchase my or get my rotten dress made, because that would have been terrible. I would have wasted hundreds of dollars. And then I had to go and tell different people that we were in God. I learned a new way to hear from God. And then we stayed there for, when I moved there, stayed there for like another year. And was that still, no, beginning of 2017 we moved to Ohio. And we felt like this would be a better opportunity. I just went along with the flow. Everybody wanted me to go. My mom wanted me to go. Some of my family members that are living still in Ohio, that have been there for years, wanted me to come. They said, yeah, Davina, we need you, and all this stuff. And a lot of people just wanted me to come. And I thought like maybe it'll be a good thing for me to go, because things are a lot affordable there, a lot more affordable there, and it's just a new scenery. So I went with the flow and I moved. I did have a bad dream. Me and one of my sisters at the same. So during like the spring of this year, 2018, maybe I started feeling like maybe God was telling me to move back, but I wasn't 100% sure. I had 3 dreams, I think, during this time, and I remembered some things that my pastor told, like one thing my pastor told me about a dream that she had about me that was good, and I also thought about some other dreams that I had prior to that, and one of my clients kept reaching out to me to see how I was doing and see if I was coming back. Not like she was just like, oh yeah girl, I just want my hair done, but you know, she was speaking in a certain way. I'm not going to get in detail because I don't have enough room in this camera, that I felt like, you know, maybe this is confirmation, but I still wasn't 100% sure. So I put it off basically, and I kept staying there basically, and I wasn't thinking about necessarily leaving, just like a thought, and I wasn't sure, so I didn't pay much mind. But then a couple of months later, I had a dream or whatever, and I was getting ready to drive, like, not I wasn't going to drive, but like me and my family were getting ready to go to New Jersey, and I was packing my stuff, and I was like, and I was getting ready, I was trying to decide if I should bring all my stuff with me, but I was like, you know what, this should be good enough. I should be coming back, whatever. And yeah. And then I had another dream that day. Oh no, we weren't going in the car. That one, we was going in the, I was going in the airplane. So the airplane represents elevation. And then I had another one that same night about me getting in the car and I need to use the bathroom. And I also followed Tamara McNair Hicks. She is prophetic. She's a prophetess, and she interprets dreams. And trust me, guys, I'm very cautious with the people that I follow and listen to. And she's a woman of God. And she does, sometimes a lot of times she interprets dreams. Whenever she's on the scope, she has different scopes for dream interpretation, and she actually picked me. So that was a confirmation. That was one confirmation, because I tried to get my dream interpreted from her once or twice, and she didn't pick me. This time she picked me, and I didn't even write that I sent my dream. I had just sent her email, and as soon as I got back on Periscope, the next dream that she did was mine. So I knew that was confirmation, because she's only led by God to interpret. The people that she picked is the ones that she's led by God to pick. So she picked mine, and she interpreted it, and basically it was a good dream. And she said the only problem was that I was trying to only take something. She said take everything, and that God's going to elevate me, and you know, that God's calling me to New Jersey. Basically, I'm not going to go into detail, and I kind of keep certain things sacred, but yeah, basically there was one confirmation. Then I had other dreams, lots of good dreams, and also had some bad ones too, about me staying where I was at. So yeah, that basically, I had lots of dreams, I had lots of confirmations. It was times where people tried to help me back, but my mom, I knew she didn't really want me to leave from her, but I had to do what I had to do. Lots of people didn't believe me or felt that I should wait to do it, but I knew that I had to do it. I also had a dream a month or two ago from now that about me being in New Jersey, Yeah, I was in a church. It was basically my church, but the church looked different in the dream. And I'm not gonna go through the whole dream. I'm just gonna get to specific parts. I was sitting in the chair. I had a cloth in the back, basically back in my seat. Like I had washed up. I had lots of dreams with cleansing and bathrooms, so I knew that was deliverance. Me getting delivered from things, whatever. Me going through deliverance, and I walked into one of the elders of the church, and we were talking, and she was asking me about assignments, like if I had one done. I had one done, and then she asked me about another one that I totally had forgot about, and I asked her when did it need to be done, and she told me tomorrow, and she was giggling. And I also had another dream about, it's a young lady, a young little girl, toddler, that I know her name is Mayana. And as you guys know, that Mayana means tomorrow in Spanish. I had that before I had that dream, like a couple of weeks before I had that dream. I had that, and somebody that I knew, I was washing Mayana, and I had to wash her for her mom, and her mom actually didn't bring her a change of clothes, I think, something like that. I have to look at my dreams that I wrote down, but yeah, basically I had another dream with tomorrow in it, so I knew that was a sign, and I knew that I didn't have much time. I know that tomorrow is not promised to us as far as the Bible goes. So I knew that time was running out, and I knew that I wasn't fully prepared. I knew that that was God showing me that, Davina, prepare for this, get ready to go here, and yeah, prepare. And tomorrow's not promised. You need to hurry up and come out here. Your time is getting short to come out here. So I knew that, and I was trying to find a way to get out there. I was trying to make plans to go, whether I was going to stay in a hotel. I didn't know where to go, and I knew I actually did not want to stay with my grandmother, the house I'm in right now. So I'm like, God, Lord, please provide a way for me to get out there. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I know I don't want to stay with my grandmother, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to stay with anybody. So then shortly after that, I had a dream. I had 2 or 3 different dreams with my grandmother, this grandmother here. And the first one was, oh, actually that was the first one, because in the dream with the elder, as she was talking, I was visualizing me asking my grandmother if they could come over, because she was like, the elder in the dream was like, we're going to still be able to come over, right? Because they were planning for us to go to Dave and Buster's, and it was somebody that was a young, well, not young adult, in their late 20s, early 30s, young lady, that's a part of my church. So, yeah, it seems like the younger adults, we're going to be, all of us, we're going to be going to like Dave and Buster's, all the younger women maybe, even though I only seen one young woman, but that's what I felt in my spirit. And she said that we were going to go to Dave and Buster's, but she wanted to come pick me up first, and she wanted to be able to come inside the house first. So I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, I gotta ask Nana. I call my grandmother Nana. I gotta ask Nana if they could come over. And when she said tomorrow and she giggled, that was the end of the dream. That, you know, the assignment had to be done, or that we had to go there tomorrow or whatever. The assignment was for tomorrow. And she giggled. And then I had a dream that I was with my grandmother, and I was we were cooking, we were chopping up vegetables at a table, and I was going to ask her, oh no, I did ask her, can I stay with her? But the dream ended right there. So I believe that was God showing me that to ask her. And it's another dream I had where I was supposed to ask her, but it wasn't guaranteed yes or no. Like, of course, God would want her to say yes, but God was going to give her free will, even though God always gives us free will, but it wasn't just like God showed me, like, yeah, she's going to say yes to Vina. It was like, you know, ask her. So I had those different dreams. Yeah, so I was glad to, basically, God let me know that Davina just got to take a chance and ask her. You might not want to ask because you don't want to stay with anybody, and she may say yes, she may say no. Basically, it's up to her through those dreams that I had with my grandmother. So I was really nervous about doing it, but eventually I asked her, and she just put different things out there about me living with her. Like, you know, she agreed, but she had to let me know, like, hey, you need to do this, and I don't want to be involved with this and that. Stuff like that, you know. We basically came to an agreement about what the circumstances would be for me living here. And I'm definitely not trying to live here for long, you know. So yeah, that's how God showed me that I should come to New Jersey. And this is how God showed me also that I should stay with my grandmother while living here in New Jersey until he didn't show me a place yet or anything, an apartment, but I know that God will bless me with my heart's desire because he knows that I don't want to live with anybody. He knows that I'm a woman, I'm a grown woman, I'm 28 years old and I'm living with other people. I'm living with my grandmother right now. I lived with my mother in Ohio to you know, we all needed each other's help. So like this is a very humbling experience. It might be kind of embarrassing to some people because of my age, and you know, it's not the typical story. It's a humbling moment. So I just thank God for provision, providing, and grace, and I just thank God that for obedience as well. I'm just happy that I was obedient, and actually a way was made. This is not a good thing, you know. Someone in my church passed away, and I showed that in the vlogs. I didn't show the funeral, of course, but I talked about it in the vlog, in one of my vlogs, and that was a way for me to come here, and that was actually another sign that I should be here. She passed away suddenly out of nowhere. Nobody wasn't expecting that, and me and my mom and one of my sisters, we came here for the funeral, and I just decided to bring all my stuff. While we came, we went on the bus. We didn't drive. I brought majority of my stuff, half of my stuff. I still have half of my stuff in Ohio. I got rid of a lot of things, and I was able to bring, you know, the suitcases and bags that I had on the Greyhound bus with me. So I'm just thankful that God made a way for me to be here. I had a job lined up. You know, some people were saying like, you know, I need to be more logical. And some people at first didn't believe that, you know, that they felt like it was my flesh, like I just wanted to hurry up and leave out, but it was God. I had to keep reminding people that it was God, and then I had to come to a conclusion that I can't care what people say and not to tell everybody everything, you know. But even so, I can't like rely on man and let man get in the way, you know. So I was obedient to God, and I came here. Even though it was uncomfortable, even though I didn't have much money, even though I didn't have my own place lined up, I did call different places to get a job. I ended up calling a staffing agency. That's the reason why I went back to a staffing agency, because I knew that I would most likely get the job on the spot. Even though I only got to work one day so far, but it all worked out. And now I have a few clients for the rest of the week. And I don't know what else is going to happen, but I know God's going to provide. And now I'm going to be back on the ushering committee, basically. We don't call it committee, but you know what a committee is. So I'm going to be ushering again. I'm most likely going to be in the choir again. So I'm going to be serving. And I'm also helping my grandmother out while I'm here, like doing lots of cooking whenever go shopping, whenever she needs to shop, keep her house clean and decent, cook, things like that, and keep her company.